So I know I talk about, Texas supremacy and the rap game, country rap, not being from Texas and all that. So I'm riding for Houston real hard. I'm from the outskirts of Houston, Pasadena, Deer Park area, but I still know what Houston lifestyle is like. So, I'm not going to try and diss Houston in this video. But a couple weeks back, Christmas Day, the Texans, I believe, were playing. It was Houston here. We had Beyonce playing. She was doing the halftime show, right? And there was a lot of backlash for that. And the reason for that, mostly, I mean, besides the fact that she's overrated, is because she was doing country music. Now, unless you want to mention that she's an Illuminati puppet, that's also a reason people probably don't like her. I didn't care either way. I think the NFL, as a majority, is woke as hell and, has a lot of concussion problems, if you know what I mean. But I could really give a fuck about the NFL, and so I wasn't bothered by what was going on there. But I did find this interesting video from this gentleman right here. His name is Mark Drew. Now, I never met him, but we were both present at a Lab 45 sort of performance thing. It was an open mic for artists, and he was there, and he was performing, and he said, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll follow you back. He either followed me and then unfollowed me because he saw something he didn't like, or he never followed me back, and therefore he doesn't stand on his word. I digress. I have nothing personal against him, but I have seen this video, and I wanted to make a response to it because this has got to be one of the stupidest takes I've ever seen. Again, nothing personal towards him because he's obviously riding for Houston, and that's something that I fuck with. That's honorable shit, so I dig that. So it's not a diss to him personally. It's just me breaking this down because, Beyonce put out a country album earlier last year, and, it's just like, it's not that black women can't do country music. They absolutely can. The thing is, you have to make a country album. And Beyonce is a pop singer, her talents and what she's good at are pop and sort of the R&B style of music. And I know that she was from Houston and she has that sort of Creole sort of bass line and her, sort of history, but she mostly repping for New York and LA now because she Illuminati. So this whole thing about her making a country album, it wasn't even a country album. Because it doesn't sound like country. It doesn't, feel like country. It just feels like Nashville pop. And it's, if anything, I've noticed over the last couple of years, the war on country music, ever since Jason Aldean put out Try That in a Small Town. And then all of a sudden, the woke mainstream media was like, well, country music is actually problematic, guys. We should probably shut that down. Because now we have people like Shabuzi. We have Post Malone coming out. He even addresses this. So we're going to take a look into this and see how I react to it.
Beyonce can't make country music. But artists
She can't make country music. She's a pop star. I listened to the album. It's mid, not very country. She might have Willie Nelson on it. Doesn't change anything. Not a country album.
like Post Malone and Jelly Roll get to do it with no issues at all.
That's cap. Because, first of all, Jelly Roll gets a pass. He's from Nashville. He did country rap before he went mainstream. Chances are, sir, you didn't know Jelly Roll prior to him becoming mainstream because he sold the fuck out. But I digress. Like I said, Jelly Roll can do country music because he knows how to do country music, right? So Jelly Roll, don't even mention Jelly Roll's name if you don't even know what he was like before he went mainstream. Post Malone, on the other hand, I have more of a problem with. Post Malone's from Texas, which is actually sadly disappointing because you'd think rappers from Texas like him would be more, respectful than that. And the reason I say that, Post Malone's talented, right? He's got a lot to offer to the game. He's got a lot to offer to music. But whenever he first burst onto the scene, he was doing rap music with grills, tattoos on his face, cornrows, dreads, all that shit, right? He was acting like he was some white boy from Jamaica. And you want to talk about pissing off the cultural appropriate, crowd, calling you a culture vulture, basically, giving white boys in the rap game a bad rep. It's because of that shit, Post Malone. So he cuts his hair, he takes the grills out, and then he does country music, and then all of a sudden, there's a bunch of people that are like, he's a culture vulture because he banked off of black music, and then switched up and went country. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So that's cap that there was no issues at all for Post Malone. Even I have issues with Post Malone on that fact. Because if you're going to do country music respectfully. Respect the lore, right? Do country music the way country music's supposed to sound. And very much stand on your word there. If you're going to do rap music, make rap music that people can jam out to in the hood. Don't make some shady clone, cringe little dicky crap, right? Make something that you think people in the hood are going to like, because that's their kind of music, and you're basically banking off of it. Now, I'm not some woke freak that's going to sit here and talk about cultural appropriation, oh, culture vulture. Nah, this House of a Thousand Corpses that Lord Jamar banked on by saying that white people are not allowed in the House of Hip Hop, House of a Thousand Corpses, I say, that's a bunch of bullshit to me. If you can spit, then you can spit. You're a rapper, dog, right? That's how it goes. But as white artists, as white rappers, you have to realize that the predominant cultural sort of mark of hip hop is based in the African American and black culture. If you cannot be respected by them, then you won't be respected at all. You might have your fans, you might be, very talented, but if you don't get the respect from the hip hop culture, then you ain't worth a shit, really, right? So you can keep banking off of it, but they're going to still call you out. So if you want to avoid being called out like that, get respect. That's how it be, right? So let's keep going.
I mean, 'cause how crazy is it to believe that artists from Houston, Texas can make country music?
So it's not crazy at all. In fact, I've seen artists from Houston, Texas make country music. Shout out Jared Ryder. I met him at Audible Studios briefly, but he's pretty cool. There's country artists from Houston. Hell, I plan on making country music in the future. I'm starting up with my rap career, but I'm not culturally appropriating by having dreads and grills and talking about shit I don't know, because I wasn't raised in the hood. So I'm not going to talk about the hood. You see what I mean? That's how that's how you don't piss off the cultural appropriate cloud, all those people, and so the idea that, how does it boggle your mind that people from Houston can make country music? I don't get that, bro.
You must have not been to the Houston rodeo if you think cowboy culture is not prevalent in a big city like Houston.
It is. It actually is. Because we're from Texas. I don't know if you know that, but we are from Texas. Houston's not its own little island. We are part of a bigger state. Texas, and I've advocated for this before, Texas is a more redneck, more country than Tennessee, Florida, Illinois, Kentucky, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Oklahoma. Texas is more country than all of those places combined. So all of them I just call Mason-Dixon rappers, because they're all close to the Mason-Dixon. They're all Yankees. So, yeah.
Where I grew up, I saw more black people on horses than anybody else.
So there's a flaw in that kind of logic. Sure, you saw black people on horses. Nothing wrong with that. But to insinuate that because you saw black people on horses that they can make good country music is like saying, I saw a bunch of white boys from Baltimore wearing do-rags, grills, had dreadlocks, and sagging their pants, so they must do good hip-hop music. Do you see the flaw in that logic, right? You see the flaw that you're basing a stereotype to generalize the opinion, and it don't work. It just don't work. Look at Lil Nas X. He tried to be country by getting that one-hit wonder Billy Ray Cyrus for one good song. He's a one-hit wonder himself, Lil Nas X is. He ain't country. In fact, he lap danced the devil and had a bunch of prison shower sex for one of his music videos. That shit ain't country. Lil Nas X is a poser. And if he's the basis standard of black country artists, then y'all need to fix some shit. Because black country artists should be respected more. I feel like black country artists should get respect. And if Lil Nas X and Beyonce are the standards, bro, what y'all doing?
Not to mention, I ain't never seen the country artist put on a better performance than last night.
So, again, not a country artist. It's Beyonce. Beyonce put on a good performance, in your opinion, but she's not a country artist. I hate to break it to you like that. That's just how it be. Just because she's wearing a cowboy hat does not mean that she's a country artist. She's a tourist.
But y'all ain't trying to hear that. If you rather see someone with a guitar or a microphone standing in one spot, then just say you're boring. And
Again, you don't know country music then. You're more of a rap guy. You're a hype man for Houston, all that shit, right? Tell me you don't know country music without telling me. You know? You disrespect the actual origin of country music, the vibe around it of a guy sitting in a guitar and performing in front of people in front of a microphone. If you dislike that and call it boring, then you don't like country music. Simple. The same as when boomer conservatives say, oh, I don't like that rap music because it's so violent and nasty. Well, then you just don't like rap. Simple. To all you boomer conservatives. It's just as ignorant as this, opinion here, because he's saying that, country music should be more exciting. It should be more, I guess that's what he's, implying. But this is how I know he doesn't listen to country music and that he actually doesn't like country music. So he's only backing Beyonce because he's a Beyonce stan and not because she makes any good country music.
I ain't saying you have to like her country music, but you're delusional.
She didn't make country music. She made pop music and nobody did like it. She should have stuck to pop.
If you think she isn't a top tier vocalist and one of the best entertainers of all time.
I won't disagree with that. I do think she's a top tier vocalist. One of the best entertainers of all time. She's up there for sure. People talk about her more than anything, I still think Rihanna's better. Just my opinion. I think Beyonce is overrated. She's talented, she's good, but she's not that good. She's overrated. She Illuminati. So I'm even more disenfranchised by that fact alone. And Rihanna's just better. Rihanna's more pleasing to my ear. So, but I don't disagree with the fact that, she's one of the greatest entertainers of all time. Sure.
Calling that trash, you're either a hater or a racist or both.
So, calling that trash, you're either a hater or you're racist. So he decides to take the typical leftist talking point of, well, I have nothing more to say. I don't have any arguments to back up my claims. So if you disagree with me, you're a racist. Typical move. Most crackheads have that sort of mentality. Not saying you smoke crack. I'm just saying you're acting like a crackhead for having that sort of mentality. So I didn't like Beyonce's country album. Does that make me a hater? Probably. Does that make me racist? Well, apparently it's not my choice, even though he literally says in the next line,
you decide.
I decide. I get to decide that I'm racist or a hater. Well, I'll be a proud racist and a proud hater because I'm actually defending the respected lore of country music just as much as I defend rap music. I'm actually respecting the lore, but if y'all remember correctly, respecting the lore is racist now. So, doesn't really bother me much. He acts like we have a decision when he pretty much makes the decision for us and how he feels about the haters, the racisms. Look at this. Never trust anybody with pronouns in their bio with an opinion like that. But then again, no disrespect to him as a person. No disrespect to him as a person. He rides for Houston. I ride with him. I just thought that was a stupid take. It's an observation, But Beyonce don't make country music. Simple as that. But thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Shout out for George Strait, who said you can't just put on a cowboy hat and be country. So I'll leave you on that. Don't smoke crack.